Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Upcycled Adulting, where I am here to help you upcycle your real life into your best life by creating healthy habits, overcoming obstacles, and growing to accomplish your goals. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 10 things that are less important than your health and well being. That's right. Your health and well being are more important than these 10 things. Why am I talking about this? Because some of these 10 things, for sure, you are prioritizing over your health and well being. A couple of them you're going to find really controversial, I'm sure, but this is incredibly important for you to recognize so that you can live more intentionally, make the adjustments you need to make to ensure that you are caring for your physical and mental health and well being as a priority in your life. So, this will be a little wake up call. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a whole month of mental health content coming your way, and you don't want to miss a single thing. Number one is appearances. Now, I know you might be thinking, no way, Cassie, I never put appearances before my own health and well being. But most women have and do. And oftentimes, where we do this the most is in our bodies. So many women are doing the most incredibly unhealthy things to be thin. They're doing it for a number on the scale or a number on the tag in their pants, restricting calories drastically, going on very, very unsafe diets, over exercising, exercising with injury, taking medications that are absolutely not safe. And listen, this has been going on for generations. They recently did a study and found that a significant percentage of women would be willing to sacrifice their health, take on major side effects, and even cut short their lifespan so that they could be thinner. It does not matter. I can't emphasize that enough. What that number says, what matters is that you are healthy, and you can be healthy at the size that you are by working with the medical professionals that you need to, following a nutritious and balanced diet, and moving your body in a way you find enjoyable. So many doctors now, even the AMA, are turning away from BMI because we know that you can be a size 6 or less and unhealthy, and you can be over a size 6 and very healthy. It really isn't about your size. So let's all just shelf that idea of leaning into appearances over our health and our well being. Number two is instant gratification. I do this too sometimes, right? How many of you out there, you're watching Netflix, you're totally into a show, you're binging it, and you play just one more instead of going to bed, right? You're running around and you're really, really busy. And instead of making yourself something for lunch that would be nourishing to your body, you just grab that packaged food, right? Or you grab another cup. I know I have grabbed another pot of coffee. Just because it feels good in the moment or it's convenient in the moment doesn't mean that it is beneficial to us long term. And while sometimes we are going to lean into instant gratification, what's easiest in the moment, because sometimes we need to, this needs to not be a daily habit. This is really important if we want to prioritize our health and our well being, because we need to take that moment to be intentional about the way that we're treating our bodies and even the way that we're treating our minds, right? Some of us doing great with the body, but we're doom scrolling things that are polluting our brain. So we really need to be careful about what we're consuming physically and mentally, even if it feels great in the moment, might not be the best thing for us. Number three, and this one might not apply to all of you, but it is why I actually wrote the original blog post that this video is based on, which is my daughter, who is a college student and trying to get straight A's while working part time and caring for a young toddler. And that is grades. A lot of us, whether it's grades or not, we prioritize external validation over our own health and wellness. We prioritize the grades that we're getting. We prioritize the praise of other people. We prioritize people pleasing, right? And we don't prioritize our own health and well being. Listen, is it great to get good grades? Is it great to get acknowledged? Yes, it is, but not if you have to sacrifice your health and well being to get it. Then you will not be able to maintain it, which will be even harder because that is a high pedestal to fall off of, right? So we really want to make sure that we're mindful of caring for our health and wellness, even when we are striving toward these accolades, awards, grades, things like that. Number 4, this one might be a little controversial. I hope it's not. But number 4 is work. So many of us are working so intensely. And I understand that we are living in a time where a lot of us have to work like that. I get it. But many of us are burning ourselves out. We are incredibly stressed and we are really struggling with our mental and physical health because of our work. And it is so important for you to know that if this is you, a career change may be in your future. And having that light at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't do it right now, can make all the difference in the world to your overall well being. I think it's really important to point out at this point that it is not sustainable long term to be working 60 or 70 hours a week. And I want you to hear me out on this because whenever I talk about this, there's always some people who are like, well, my parents worked that much. Well, my grandparents worked that much. And I hear you. I understand that. But I think it's so vital to recognize that when generations before worked 60 to 70 hours a week, there was typically someone in the home doing the domestic labor. They were not working 10, 12-hour days, coming home, making dinner, bathing kids, doing homework, and running to 3 different activities. They were not doing that. And that is not just about not having a person home to carry some of that domestic load. That's also about the way that we live is different. All right. When I was a kid, we didn't do any activities. There were no activities. All right. If you did activities, they were at the school, after school, and you walked home from school. There wasn't any of this. And way back in the day, when this was much more common, people had generational living where the grandparents were there to help. There was a stay-at-home parent there. Oftentimes there were siblings nearby, and there was an entire village. If you don't feel like you have a village, you're not alone. And it's important to know that those 60, 70-hour work weeks are dependent upon having a village. Am I saying you can't do it when you're kicking your business off and you are really grinding through as an entrepreneur? No. But I'm saying long term, this is not going to work. I know some of you work long hours at Christmas time. Some of you are kicking off businesses fine. I get it. But that needs to be a short-term situation. Otherwise, you will have significant consequences in your mental and physical health. And that is going to take you out of the workforce sooner, have you missing more days at work. And I'm going to tell you that's not going to help at all. So we are not sprinting when it comes to work. It's like a marathon. You're going to do it for a long time, and we're not going to do it for 60, 70 hours a week. And that, by the way, leads me to number 5, which is money. This one I know will be controversial because this can be a very complicated issue because prioritizing money over your health happens in 2 ways. It happens, one, when we overwork, but it also happens when we are unwilling to invest in our health and wellness. Now, depending on where in the world you live, this may be very different for you, but I am in the United States. And so we are all privately insured here. But I think it's really important to recognize that a lot of people, and a lot of people I know personally, are very comfortable spending money on vacation, spending money on odds and ends, on travel, on home decor, but are not comfortable spending money on supplements or specialty doctors or massage therapists or other medical things that would really benefit them. And again, I need to point out that investing in your health helps you perform better at work, stay in the workforce longer, miss less days due to illness. Anything that you invest financially in your health, in my experience, anything you invest in your health, the ROI is more than you will invest. So stop feeling bad about the supplements that you want to take. Stop feeling bad about going to the functional medicine doctor or the massage therapist or the acupuncturist or whatever, the chiropractor, whatever it is that you feel is helping you stay at your peak health. Stop feeling bad about the gym membership when you go to the gym. My husband wanted these vitamins, I think like 2 years ago, and he was appalled at how much they cost. And he was like, I am not spending that kind of money on vitamins. And obviously, y'all know I went online immediately and bought the vitamins because he benefited from them. And he started taking them. And within a month, it was like a night and day difference. And it made so much difference to his work life, to our relationship, to our home life. It made such a profound difference that I am telling you, I would easily pay 5 times more for those vitamins because it's such a big impact. Be willing to invest in your health. It is a worthwhile investment. Number 6 is housework. Now, I could talk all day long about how housework is detrimental to your health. There are 3 big ways that housework is detrimental to your health. 1, it's taking up time that you need to be spending sleeping, exercising, preparing decent meals for yourself. All right. It is oftentimes such a huge time suck that the things that you need to do to maintain your mental and physical health, even if it's taking a hot bath, even if it is reading a good book, because sometimes we need that, y'all. Okay. It's taking up so much time that it is crowding out these other things and it's creating stress. And stress is horrible for your mental and physical health. So that is one way. Number 2 is most of us are disinfecting our homes. Disinfecting your home damages your microbiome. It actually causes problems in your body. It's making you sick. It's also making your kids sick. They have already proven that the children who have the least incidence of allergies, asthma, and illness are Mennonite and Amish children because they're exposed to livestock, other animals, and y'all, dirt and germs. Your body has a war machine inside it called the immune system. And if your body doesn't have something legit to fight, it will fight other things. It will fight the stuff in your body you don't want it fighting. So it's actually important that we be exposed to germs. It's also actually important that we don't kill the bacteria that live in and on our bodies that are beneficial to us, that help our bodies function. They are absolutely essential to your brain function, your immune function. They are hugely impactful in mental illness. It is unreal how much those little microscopic guys are doing inside your body. So we do not want to kill them. The third way that your cleaning is detrimental to your health is that most of the things you're cleaning with are toxic. They have fragrances and toxic chemicals that are dangerous to you. They are respiratory irritants, they are endocrine disruptors, and they are causing lots of problems. So go with a more natural cleaner, all right? And y'all, do it less. It does not need to be as clean as you think it needs to be. It does not need to be done as often as you think it needs to be done. So here you go. Here's your pass to clean less and to actually see that little bit of mess, little bit of stuff in your house, and to actually be proud of it because you know that that is beneficial to your health and the health of your family. Number 7 is vacations, holidays, and events. And I know y'all are like, those are fun things, Cassie. How would that be detrimental to my health? How is prioritizing the fun stuff a problem? And I'm going to tell you, because a lot of times vacations are not stress relievers. They're stressful, especially in my opinion for moms. I used to tell my husband all the time, we have 5 kids, that being on vacation was harder for me than being home with the kids. It is so much harder. And then when you add to it that you are far from home, that you are eating things you might not usually eat, you're probably not hydrating very well, you're probably sleeping a whole lot less, right? Those things are very, very impactful to your health and well being. In addition to that, there's all the pressure. And this is where holidays and events can be really, really challenging. If you know that you struggle with holidays and events, you struggle with your family or with your partner's family, I want you to know it's okay to say no. Again, stress is dangerous for your health. Conflict is not good for your mental health in this way. Having to show up at family events and feeling humiliated or feeling heavily burdened or feeling like you need to keep your mouth shut so you don't rock the boat, leaving holiday events in tears, needing 3 days to recover because they're so stressful for you, y'all, we are not going to prioritize vacations, holidays, and events over our own health. We're going to start saying no. And no is a full sentence, and you don't need to explain. You don't need to say why. You can simply say, no, we won't be there this year. If you feel like offering anything, you can say, we're busy, we're not feeling well, we don't want to. Any of the above. And the truth of the matter is that people who are actually safe for you to be around, who merit your time, who actually you may want to consider being present with, are not going to guilt trip you. They're not going to emotionally blackmail you. They're not going to manipulate you, right? Because they're safe people. Okay. And if they do that, that is further evidence that you are doing the right thing in not going. Number 8, passions, dreams, and goals. This one can be really hard for people because a lot of times people are like, but that's so good for me. And I feel so good when I pursue my passions and my dreams and my goals. Cassie, are you telling me not to pursue them? Like, what if my dream or my goal is to be healthy? Okay, here's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, don't prioritize it over your health. If you have a goal, for example, to run a marathon, but your knee hurts bad, don't prioritize getting your running in before you go to a doctor to get your knee checked out. All right. Don't prioritize your dream of writing a book over you needing rest. Don't prioritize the business that is your passion project to start over caring for your body when you have an autoimmune flare, for example. We always need to consider our health first, and we always need to be mindful of it. So when we get up and we go to do our run for our marathon, or we go to start writing our book, or we go to doing our work for our business, doing a physical check-in, okay? Am I okay? Do I feel okay? And y'all, for those of you who are neurodivergent like I am, even checking in on things like, did I feed myself? When's the last time I fed myself is really important. Having water right next to your workstation. These simple little things can help you really prioritize your health as you're pursuing your goals, your dreams, and your passions. All right. But we are not putting our goals over our health and saying, oh, I'm just going to push through. I'm going to push through the pain. And when I get to the other side, then I'll rest. Then I will see a doctor about my knee. Then I will make myself something decent to eat. We're not going to do that. We're going to make sure we're caring for ourselves. Number 9, relationships. So many of us prioritize our relationships over our own health. And we do it in these ways that we don't even think about. And I always think it's funny because I teach a lot about health. And one of the things I always tell people as the number one nutrition tip is eat more plants. Like just eat more vegetables. It will change your life. I promise. Little bonus tip for you here. But every time I say this and I'm talking to someone about it, they tell me the same thing. My husband doesn't like vegetables. Okay. Your husband not liking vegetables doesn't mean anything about whether or not you can eat them. All right. We so often prioritize relationships. Well, I go for nachos and margaritas with my friends every Thursday, and I've been having, some tummy issues. I think I'm having a problem with it, but I don't want to let them down. I don't want to inconvenience them. This is a very common thing. I have an autoimmune condition. I am allergic, as an EpiPen allergic, to dairy, casein, and I have non-celiac gluten sensitivity. All right. If I don't expect other people to cook for me, all right, when I show up places, I'm happy to bring my own food because I don't think that it's the easiest thing to avoid dairy or gluten cross contamination. I get it. Okay. But if you are offended because I am bringing my own meal on Christmas Eve, I don't care. I am not going to worry about hurting the other person's feelings and potentially making myself sick or ending up in a hospital. Okay. We need to prioritize our own health. So if I cannot be accommodated and I do not or don't want to bring my own food, then I will not be there during mealtime. I will not eat something or taste something just because somebody tells me to. And they're like, but I worked so hard on it and it's so delicious and you have to try it. And I need you to know that this has been a very, very real issue for me. I have somebody in my family who, whenever you go out to eat with them, they want to order dessert and they don't want to do it alone. So they get very, very agitated if you won't order dessert too. Guess how many desserts are gluten and dairy free in a restaurant? Like 0. Okay. And if you're going to be upset because, well, if you don't get it, I can't get it. This is not my problem. This isn't my problem. So it's very important to know, prioritize your health over your relationships, other people's feelings about what you're don't that'll sort itself out. You are not responsible for other people's stuff anyways. Number 10, this is the most controversial one of all, is prioritize your health and wellness over your children. I understand some of you just went, what? Okay. I have 5 kids. I did not do this for most of their lives, and I now have grandchildren, and it has really shown. All right. My father died at 43 years old. I was 25. He never walked me down the aisle. He never saw his grandchildren, and he died of a massive heart attack, and it wasn't his first one. I wish that he had prioritized his health. I wish his health had been important to him so that he would still be present in my life. I understand that as a mom, it's busy, and I understand that you may feel guilty spending the extra time in the kitchen making the meal. You may feel guilty going to the gym. You may feel guilty going for a walk. You may feel guilty practicing self-care and taking a hot bath. I want you to know that as a parent, your job is not making every day fun for your kids. I mean, it would be wonderful if we could do it, but we can't. Your job is to do what's best for them in the long term. Your job is to always be thinking ahead. All right. That's your job. And I need you to know that when you prioritize your health and wellness, 2 things happen. 1, you set the example for your children to do the same as adults. It does not matter how much you encourage their health when they're children. They're learning how to be adults from watching what you do. And when they become adults, if you feel guilty exercising, they will too. And I need you to know that. So 1, you're modeling good health habits as an adult to your children and as a parent to your children. 2, you are alleviating or doing your very best to alleviate some of the burden of care when you are elderly. Even if you have no intention of your children helping care for you when you're elderly, there's a good chance that some of the decision making, some of the stress will fall onto them. The longer that you can stay healthy, the healthier you can be, the longer you'll be able to be present for them, and the less they will have to do to care for you when you're older. And I want to make sure that you all know this. My children are 22 to 32, all right? And I need everybody out there to know this. They still need me. They still need me. I am 52. I still need my father. I still wish he was here. And so I am telling you, it is not selfish to prioritize your health and wellness above playing Barbies with your kids, above them joining another activity. It is important to have balance, and it's important for every person in the family to take up space in the family and to have their needs met, especially their basic needs, like caring for their health. Next week, I am going to be talking, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about anxiety, panic attacks, and depression. So do not forget to subscribe. If you need extra help managing your health and you want to learn more about how to best and most easily care for your health inside your real life, because y'all, I know you're busy. I know all 10 of these things are going on in your life. I want you to check out Inner Circle. There is a great course in there called Take Control of Your Health. There's also one for relationships, home, money, and time to help you de-stress, demystify, and make those things so much easier for you. You deserve to live your very, very best life, and I know that you can have that. I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.